Okay, 7 seconds into this video. This is a live stream at 1:01 a.m. in the morning on December 13th, 2018. And I'm so disturbed, people, with the shit that I've been finding over the last couple of days in terms of old Snapchats and all this stuff. And just with what's been going on with my daughter and how police have been handling it, and the messaging from the coroner's office in terms of it was an accident, stamp, move on. I don't know how anyone can expect me to feel safe. Like, seriously, like I'm being treated like I'm the one that murdered my daughter. I've got cops fucking, I can't say raiding. They're not raiding my house, but they're trampling through my house like freaking trolls, right? Talking to myself, and that's fine. Because I worked on a web page today, and I should have just left it alone. Because I got up to the point where I almost wanted it, except for there was this little line in there, and I was determined to get it out. Tisha said, "Oh, no, just leave it. It looks good." And I'm like, "You're probably right." And no, I had to mess with it, and I screwed it all up, and now I have to restart what I was working on tomorrow, because I'm so tired. But I am so tired, but so frustrated, and so worried, and so stressed out, and having panic attacks because of this situation around Shimei, and just the game playing in terms of the hospital and what they did, and the police and what they're doing and what they did and what they haven't done. You know, it's about what they haven't fucking done, people. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it how people can come to my house at 1:30 in the fucking morning because I put up a video that's over a year old just to show the hypocrisy that's going on in our hospitals in terms of she made it to herself because she was a closet addict and you just didn't know about it. Well, if you look at the last fucking video that I just put up on my Facebook with her, I haven't uploaded up to YouTube yet because I have to bring them together because they're Snapchat videos and I have to convert them into one little video, which I'll end up doing. The point is, she doesn't look like she's tweaking, people. You know? And I don't know how to break the freaking stereotype because there's too much money involved around the death of thousands of people in a short span of time. In terms of, just 4 years and just think about how much money we can save. As they victimize the victims twice. Well, I'm not even being victimized twice. I'm on my 10th fucking round here. Seriously. Right. So I have no regrets putting up these little videos that I've been putting up recently. Because it shows what I'm freaking dealing with. In terms of a raging lunatic. On a fucking rampage. Well, the cops stand around and say, well, we don't see anything, nothing wrong here, but we're going to come to your door at 1:30 in the morning and, and just do a surprise visit and rattle around in your fucking kitchen area and, and it just like it doesn't make any sense, people. None of it makes any fucking sense. And speaking of not making sense, here's something new. Still talking to myself? Still talking to myself. That's fine. Here's something new. In the video of the Snapchat with Shimei, right before she died, right before she was going to go and get some rest and sleep, because she was looking after the baby all night long because he was fussy and she couldn't sleep. So she waited for her sister to get home so she could go to sleep. Instead, she died. Well, here's the thing. In that Snapchat video, and it doesn't matter whether I say it on fucking YouTube or not anyway, because again, nobody's taking it serious. Nobody cares, right? Nobody thinks that anybody walks around injuring people with fentanyl for purpose or reason or with intent. No, it's all an accident. Everything's a fucking accident, right? When it's not suicide. Her shirt in that video is black. I mentioned this to Tisha. Tisha said, oh, well, don't say nothing on YouTube, but, tell the cops. Well, first of all, there is no case, people. They've closed the case because they don't think it's a fucking case because nobody dies in fucking BC, British Columbia, Canada through fentanyl under the guise of murder. Nobody, not one. Everything was a suicide or an accident. All right. So who cares if her shirt was black, but when I came to her, it was white. Well, almost white. So in other words, not only did the person move Shimei after she died, okay, like, do you get it? Somebody came, took my daughter, and moved her after she died. Not before she died, but after she died. Laid her out. Her shirt was up over her fucking breasts, so her tits were exposed. And after seeing that video, people, her shirt had been changed into a white shirt because she wasn't wearing a black one. That's for sure. I can tell you that because I did CPR on Shimei. So, do I go running to the cops to tell them as if they're going to fucking listen to me because they don't give a fucking shit? When you going to come knocking on my door again? Looking for Lisa? Well, Lisa's moved. She's gone now. She doesn't live next door no more. Go fucking there. Like, seriously, man. This targeting of families and vulnerable people and stuff like that, you go online and you read up on it, and they target single women, elderly women, women with children. They don't go after the criminals, right? Whether they're freaking hood rats or white collar criminals, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, people. So I sit here and I worry, and I live in fear. I live in fear. I'm not going to settle for, oh, well, she did it to herself. I'm not going to, people, because I know different. All right. They want you to suffer in silence. That's what it is. If you don't, they gas you so much that you think that if you say nothing, it will get better, but it doesn't get better. That's the thing. It doesn't get better. All right. So if it doesn't get better, you might as well be vocal about it. And that's kind of like where I'm at with this situation, people. Because I don't know who to fucking turn to. I'm being told by the coroner's office to write the top cop. Now, why? Why doesn't the coroner write the fucking top cop? Why doesn't the coroner, better yet, go visit the top cop? Why does it have to be me? Right? Why is it my responsibility? The coroner knows there's a problem in the province of British Columbia, Canada. They don't need me writing a top cop saying, hey, something happened to my daughter. They already fucking know something happened to my daughter. All right? But they're covering it up. That's the thing. I'm going to phone up the hospital and I'm going to find out where my daughter's clothes went to, because after they pulled the plug, they never did give me back her clothes. They gave me back her little belly ring thing, or her whatever little thing from the belly button, because I don't think she had her tongue ring in. I don't know. But that's all they gave me. They didn't give me none of her clothes back. Why? Why didn't they give me back her clothes? She was dead. She didn't need her clothes. Speaking of that, when she was supposed to go for an autopsy, after I left the hospital thinking she was going to get an autopsy, being told that she was because I had to fight for it, like 2 or 3 weeks later, the coroner calls me up and tells me to go pick up Shmei's body from the hospital. And I'm like, okay, so the autopsy's been done? She said, no autopsy's been done. There isn't going to be one. That's what she told me, people. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I had to fight for that. And then she agreed that, okay, she'll get on it and make sure an autopsy gets done. Right? This is what I mean. So her body sat in the cold storage there for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, or whatever the fuck it was, after they pulled the plug. So by this time, she's been in the hospital for a month, right? 8 days upstairs and another 14, 15, 16 days in the cold storage. Taking samples that I got to go figure out how the hell they got urine from her when she had already pissed herself after she died. After she died, people. Right? And the cops want to come and accuse me of mistreating my grandchildren because some random troll on YouTube who watch my videos regularly, right, and has an interest in having me lose my house or lose my grandkids. There's an interest for them, just like with Duncan Clan. If I would have lost my house and would have lost Andre, it would have been that much harder to file that lawsuit, right? But they don't have too much to worry, though, because when you're a targeted individual, such as myself, it's just a matter of time before you lose another family member to the corruption that's in your community, because that's basically what it is, people. Right? All you have to do is go look at my last couple of videos to see what I'm up against. How did Shmei's shirt go from black to white? How did she go from sitting up to laying down? How did she go from wanting to go to sleep and get some sleep to being dead? How? How did that all happen? Outside of the old okie dokie, she did it to herself because she was sniffing cocaine at 8 o'clock in the morning and you just didn't know about it because she was dumb and young. Okay. So therefore she deserved to die, because that's basically what they're saying. If you're that dumb to go off and do 1 line of coke and kill yourself from that 1 line of coke at age whatever it is because you want to play Russian roulette with fentanyl, then you're young and dumb and you deserve to die. That's pretty much where we're at with that mentality, because then they don't have to train them, because they're young and they're dumb. So, don't have to train them. You got a whole fucking caravan of immigrants coming from all over the world over the next 20 years, people, that there won't be no jobs left. Except for maybe... because I'm feeling very, very, very cynical. Very cynical. I resent sitting here worrying about my family as a whole, because people just want to play games, right? Just play games. When Andre first got home from foster care, he really liked police cars and that kind of stuff, right? Because I worked on a nonprofit, and and a police car would go by, and He'd say, "Where's their horses?" And I said, "I don't know. We'd get them some. Like we'd get them some horses through the foundation, because all their horses are up and on Ottawa, right? They don't have horses anymore in the individual provinces like they used to, because the federal government had done cutbacks. So it's up to the community to kind of rally around that cause, so that our Royal Canadian Mounted Police in our provincial territories can have access to their own horses." Well, that was a pretty inspiring goal for a little boy, right? That was excited to see a cop car drive by, right? And then because they've got those little horses on there, where's their horses? Well, I don't know. We're going to get them some. Well, I don't know, people. I don't feel that enthusiastic anymore. I don't, because I don't understand why I have to, one, even do this video and embarrass myself around it, because I'm just kind of like debating where I should just click out and fucking delete the whole bloody thing, right? Because as if anyone cares whether Shimei was sitting up in a black shirt, died in a black shirt, but then was found in a white shirt with it pulled up over her chest. How does a black shirt go from a white shirt? When the person admits to moving the body and the cops seem to think that's okay. Because Shimei did it to herself. When clearly, when you go into her last Snapchat, you can see she wasn't doing anything other than what a mother is supposed to do, and that was look after the baby. Well, I'm being harassed because I have to stand up for my daughter, because nobody else is, basically. Still talking to myself? Yeah, still talking to myself. So, how does a black shirt go to being a white shirt? What was that person trying to hide? Because I can tell you right now, when she got to the hospital, they weren't looking for anything other than a paycheck in terms of how long they could keep my daughter's body on their machines to milk the taxpayers' dollars to pay for that, as they were training their nurses, basically, or using experimental drugs and embalming fluids and God knows what else they did to my daughter's body, because they sure in hell weren't looking after it, that's for sure. Right? And as they did it, people, they destroyed the evidence. That's what they did. And that's why the cops are so fucking nonchalant about it, because they know that they fucking destroyed the evidence, right along with the healthcare system. Right? So that means that my daughter was targeted. She was targeted for her body. Right? Sierra's targeted in a different kind of way. They like to keep her out in the streets, because then she satisfies the Johns. Right? Keep the perverts at bay. Right? Got to have those little street prostitutes out there, because if you don't, people will start crawling through other people's windows and just raping the wives. And they don't want the wives getting raped, so they leave the sick and the vulnerable out in the streets to take care of that problem in terms of rapists and that type of shit. Right? That's Sierra's contribution to society. Keeping the uppity ups safe from the perverts that walk among them. Right? Where Shimei was just more valuable dead. Because they didn't need to train her. If anything, she would have been a threat to the incoming immigration population coming in, right? That have better work skills, but yet when you go to the hospital, you're too scared to go because you know how you're going to be treated when you get there. And chances are it won't be that great. Not anymore. Nope. Everybody's running around with a fucking pole up their ass, right? Thinking they're better than everybody else. Right? So why tell the truth? Why tell the truth in terms of, what do you call it? Well, gee, she's dead. Sorry to let you know, Miss Charney, but that's just the way the ball bounces. Versus, oh, she's really sick. She's really sick, but she did it to herself. She did it to herself. You know, she was a closet junkie. You just didn't know. Get over it. Get used to it. Move along. Her body is contaminated now because cocaine is worse than kryptonite. I just can't get over it, people. And then when I'm going to phone up the hospital asking where her clothes are, they'll say they fucking threw them out. I didn't claim them. That's what they'll say. They won't say, oh, well, sorry, we didn't give them to you because that's our responsibility to hand that stuff over. They'll just say you didn't claim it. Right? So that'll just be more evidence gone. That's all that will be. And that's why I'm doing this video, because it's a joke. Because the more it gets thrown out like that, right, the more I get targeted in terms of being the villain, because I'm speaking out versus sitting here suffering quietly so that the dirty secret can, be swept under the rug and it can go happen to somebody else. Right? See, that's the thing about the internet. You can actually tell your story, and sooner or later somebody's going to come across that story and they're going to say, wow, I have a story almost like that. Or I know somebody that almost went through that. Prior to the internet, nobody really knew. So this stuff was going on, maybe not to the degree that it's going on the way it is today in terms of the technology, but it was still going on. It's just people didn't really talk about it because, one, they were afraid to talk about it, obviously, right? I mean, who wants to talk about police corruption? Not too many, because then you become a whistleblower, especially if you've got like some serious documents to prove it, right? Because I'm starting to think these guys are corrupt. People, that's why I'm doing this video. I don't get it. Like I don't fucking get how they can just ignore their responsibility in terms of protecting the public from a dangerous substance that they know is a lethal weapon. They know it. And all they've done is put my family at risk more because they're not doing anything about what happened to Shimei. Right? I worry about Tisha all the time, in part because of that dream. Right? And also, just with the facts, people. She died sitting up. Her body was moved. Now it appears her shirt was changed in that moving process. She clearly wasn't tweaking or whatever people do when they're high on coke. Right? Even though hospital staff want to say she was, because they somehow got urine out of a body that had already urinated itself. Like, how does that one work? I'm like, I have to go to a freaking funeral home and go talk to a mortician or go find some medical books, right? To get to the truth. Because if you go ask them at the hospital, they won't tell you the truth. I can tell you that right now. They won't fucking tell you. They'll say there was a few drips way up high in the freaking kidneys, right? That's where they got it from. But yet, when they had her hooked up to those machines on the second or third day, they hooked her up to a freaking kidney dialysis machine, which was a bunch of crock because her kidneys weren't even working. And they knew it. And then they tried to play it like, oh, well, she's not really responding to it very well. So, we can't really use it again because she was swelling up, right? Because they tried it. They said it didn't work. So they took it off. And then everybody was crying. And they're like, we can't use the machine because it didn't work with her because she couldn't tolerate it. It wasn't about she couldn't tolerate it. She was fucking dead. Like, how many times do these people avoid that fact? Because if I go and with her medical files to the hospital, open up a box, say, oh, here, and it clearly shows she was, oh, well, no, well, they'll flip it. They'll flip it. Which leaves you sitting like a sitting duck, talking to yourself at 1:30 in the morning, right? Worried that it's just going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's just going to get worse, right? How can it get better? How can it get better? You think, honestly, writing a letter to the fucking top cop is going to make it better? Right? Or some supervisor cop? You think that's going to make it better? Not going to make it better. That's like going to the courthouse downtown, going in front of a judge, and he falsifies his own transcripts. And then you go talk to your lawyer, and you mention it in passing, and he cracks the jokes and says, was the guy old white guy? And I'm like, yeah, how did you know? Well, because they're all fucking white and old. So what does that tell you? Right? So that's the whole point of that video. What does that tell you? Would you feel safe? I don't feel safe, people. No.